Chupa movie. A young boy discovers the presence of a mythical being in his grandfather's barn, and he and his friends decide to protect this creature from hunters. In 1996, a group of explorers discovered strange drawings in a cave, so they began to explore the cave further and follow the traces in it until the explorers heard a roaring sound coming from inside the cave. They continued searching the cave until they found a feather on the ground. One of the group ran to the leader, Quinn, to show him the feathers he found and to report the strange sound he heard, and then Quinn ran to the place he described. There was a small legendary animal named Chupacabra Queen. He tried to take the little animal, but his mother appeared at the right time and defended the child. The mother picked up her son and tried to escape with him from the cave, but Quinn hit her with a shell and injured her. Despite the mother's injury, she was able to escape from the cave and took her son with her, but Quinn stayed behind and took his car and chased her into the desert. Quinn and his men lost mother and son, but they found a trace of her in the sand, and at that time they continued their pursuit. The world was dark and the mother was running fast to save her son, and unfortunately she got out on the road and hit a car. The mother was severely injured. At that time, she decided to leave her son in the garden, and she ran far away to distract the explorers. Before the incident, there was no evidence of the existence of chupacabra creatures, but after what happened, the media began to spread rumors about the existence of the legendary creature. We then see Alex, a young child who was 13 years old. Alex was of Mexican origin, but he lived in America, so that's why. His friends at school were they bully accordingly. He was always alone and only interested in electronic games. One day, Alex returned from school and found his mother telling him that his grandfather was waiting to visit him in Mexico. Alex lost his father when he was a young child, and since then, he has had no connection to his father's family, although he was not able to go to Mexico. When Alex got off the plane, he was surprised to find that his grandfather was waiting for him at the airport. He was very happy to meet him, and on their way home, he noticed that his grandson had a strong interest in electronic games, and he felt that Alex looked very much like his father. When they first arrived at the farm, Alex met his cousin Nemo. He saw that Alex told me that his cousins had come from the city. When Alex started unpacking his bag, he heard the sound of music coming from the window. Alex. He looked out the window and discovered that the one playing was his cousin, Lona. She was very happy to meet Alex. Hours later, Alex came out of his room after unpacking his bag, and suddenly Nemo and his cousin attacked him. They fell to the ground. Alex was surprised by his cousin's attack, and he did not understand what he was doing, because he didn't know this type of wrestling. Luna put a tape in the VCR and played it. Then Alex was surprised that his grandfather found him. He was a great wrestling champion and never lost a match. Throughout his life, he once faced a strong wrestler who caused him a serious injury. Achava's skull was fractured due to wrestling, and he fell into a coma. His life after that Achava he appeared in front of the children, turned off the television, and took Alex to show them the farm. Achava showed Alex the animals on his farm, and during the tour, he noticed that there was a goat lying on the ground, Nemo and Luna. They said that this goat was attacked by a chupacabra, but Achava told them that this animal only exists in legends, but only on the same night Alex. He was sleeping in his bed and suddenly he heard a strange sound. Alex got out of bed. He went towards the window. Discover. This sound was caused by a goat coming to visit him. After a few seconds, Alex saw it. His grandfather was withdrawn from the place and decided to follow him to the barn, but on the way, Alex saw a strange creature instigated the planting. They discovered that the one who scared Alex was a black rabbit, and they began to laugh at him. But as soon as they walked from the place, a chupacabra baby came out of the planting. The next morning, Alex woke up from sleep. He found a chupacabra baby sleeping on Alex's bed. He gasped as soon as he saw it. The chupacabra baby was terrified and jumped out of the window. When Alex looked out the window to look for a chupacabra baby, didn't he find a girl? Uncle. She was the one sitting on the roof with her headphones in her head, so she did not hear Alex screaming. She called Alex and suggested that they set off fireworks on the roof. After a while, Nemo appeared from the window and told them that their grandfather was not there. The three children decided to go to their grandfather, and they all got into the car. And Luna drove up and said that their grandfather has brain problem, looking aimlessly. At the same time, Quinn and his men were looking for the chupacabra, and while searching, Quinn found a car number plate found in the plantings, so he decided to walk behind this plate, and knew its owner, Alex and his sons. His uncle arrived in the city, and as soon as they arrived there, they separated to cover a larger area. Luna actually went looking for her grandfather, while Nemo took Alex to the market to try Mexican food. Alex tried to eat taco in the market, and Alex said that he was eating brains, and then Alex was disgusted. After eating, he returned to the farm again. On the way, he came across a man with a goat in his hand. They discovered that this man was their grandfather, so they took them with them in the car to return to the farm. Alex and his family met Quinn and his men on the way back. But Quinn he didn't stop them and I walked past him. As soon as they returned home, the television started broadcasting news about the appearance of the chupacabra. But Achava told them that these animals do not exist. He turned off the TV first thing Chupa he walked. Alex asked Luna what happened to him. He is sleeping. He also told her that he was sure that his grandfather was hiding chupacabra animals, which is why he would get angry when he brought their biography to Luna. Alex. He went to the barn, and he was actually right. There was a small chupacabra Alex. He wanted to keep the chupacabra company, so he went to the refrigerator and brought him food from there. As soon as the food was presented to him, the chupacabra ran in front of him, and Alex decided to run after him to know his location. As soon as when the chupacabra arrived there, Alex presented him with a small box. He was very excited, but as soon as he opened the box, he found a dead chupacabra mouse inside it. He thought that Alex liked to eat what he ate, but Alex refused this delicious meal. After a while, a severe storm hit the farm, and thunder sounded. Second day in the morning. Memo went to the barn, and discovered that Alex had been sleeping there since yesterday, and suddenly Memo started hearing a strange sound, so he went to the place where the sound came from in order to discover its source. To the chupacabra. But his plan failed because chupacabra himself appeared in front of him. He wanted to attack him, because he thought that Memo would attack his friend Alex after a few minutes. She also entered the barn and discovered the presence of a chupacabra. At first Luna she was afraid. But after getting close to the chupacabra, she was no longer afraid. Luna asked Alex to get rid of the chupacabra, but Alex refused and told her that he and Memo would take care of it, and that it would be their pet. Alex named the chupacabra Chupa at the same moment. Their grandfather Chava walked in on them while they were playing Chupa together. The strange thing is that the first thing they saw was what happened to Chupa, and then we discovered that Chupacabra was the one who brought Chupa to the farm, and told them how many days ago I was driving my car at night, and unfortunately I was not seeing well, and suddenly one of the Chupacabra creatures appeared in front of me. Unfortunately, they could not avoid it while the car was mine. I got out of control and hit it, and when I came back again, I couldn't find it. The next day in the morning, I returned again to the scene of the accident to tow my car. Fortunately for me, the Chava saw Quinn and his men entering his farm, so he went to them to find out the reason for their entry into his farm. Quinn got out of his car and told Chava that he had found his car's number plates at the scene of the accident, and told him that he was searching the farm, but Chava did not allow him to search the farm and expelled him from it, not allow Chupa to be harmed. Alex went to Chupa. But you see, he was afraid and attacked Alex. Then Alex was holding a toy and started giving him a cup. Indeed, when Chupa heard the sound of music outside the game, Memo took Chupa and told him that he was teaching him to fly, and in fact, the two of them went up to the hangar. Memo jumped from the barn onto a haystack and asked Chupa to jump like him, and he did. Chupa. He was able to fly in the air for several seconds. Also a few days left and Alex's vacation was up, so he decided to enjoy it more, and started watching his grandfather's old wrestling matches, and discovered that his father was a strong, brave wrestler. But he left the wrestling business before he met his mother, and went to live with her. The Chava discovered that Alex was not concentrating on his words, and was more interested in his game, so he took the game from his hand, and told him that he must challenge him, and the referee was between them. Memo Chava defeated Alex easily, and left Alex thrown on the ground. But as soon as they met, Alex turned his back. Alex got up from the ground and gave him a hard push in the back. At that time, Chava fell to the ground and lost consciousness. Dr. Ban. He examined Chava and gave him a painkiller injection to relieve the pain a little, and suddenly he heard a roaring sound. The doctor was worried about the sound and asked where it was coming from. When Alex tried to stop Quinn, Quinn grabbed him by the neck, and then Chupa attacked Quinn to protect his friend, but Quinn was hit. Dope shot and Chupa fainted. Quinn took a Chupa with him and locked him in his trunk, and Alex ran to his grandfather's room to help him, but Chava was still tired, and did not remember that there was an animal named Chupa. In fact, Alex had a dangerous idea and told Chava that his archenemy in wrestling had attacked the farm. At that time, she saw that he put on his wrestling clothes, and attacked Quinn. Chava defeated Quinn, and ran with his grandchildren towards the car in which Chupa and Luna were driving. Quinn tried to prevent Chava and his family from escaping, but they succeeded in escaping, and now their mission became to meet Chupa Luna's family. She came out on the road to Chava, found Chupa on him, and she said I will try with his grandfather to remember the place, but Chava was distracted due to his injury, and suddenly Chupa started making strange noises and ran into the desert, and Chava and his family ran after Chupa saw the car on the road. They were able to find the car that Luna was driving on the road. So they separated in order to cover a larger area and meet Chava and his family. Alex was running after Chupa and his family were running after him as well. But Chupa and Alex were faster than the rest of the family, so they preceded them by a distance until Chupa reached the valley. Alex began to appear. He knew that the Chupa people were nearby. He understood that it was time to say goodbye. And actually hugged Chupa and bid him farewell. He was sad about leaving him after Alex said. He walked across the bridge to cross to the other side and go to his family. Suddenly, a predatory animal appeared in front of Alex and tried to attack him. Alex climbed the bridge to escape from the predatory animal. this moment, Alex's family arrived at the bridge and saw that the predatory animal was beginning to fear, in order to keep it away from his grandson. Indeed, Chupa succeeded in his mission. The predator is far away from them now. Alex remains trapped on the bridge with Chupa. He wanted to save his grandson before he fell. But suddenly the rest of the connections began to collapse, and Alex fell from the bridge, but he held on to a thin piece of iron on the bridge, and began screaming in terror, and Chupa heard Alex's screams and returned again to the bridge, and went to Alex to save him. But at this moment, the bridge collapsed from under Chupa and Alex fell. But at the last moment, Chupa spread his wings, Alex caught him, and then Chupa flew with Alex and saved him from death. Chupa was very happy when she first saw Chupa flying with her granddaughter, and then she thanked Chupa, but Chupa did not know how he would return to his family after the bridge collapsed. At this moment, Quinn appeared behind them and hit Chupa with a drug shot, causing him to lose consciousness. Alex was very upset because Quinn took Chupa with him. But his grandfather prevented him from interfering so that he would not get hurt, and they all stood and watched Quinn as he put Chupa in his car and walked away. Quinn did not know that Chupa's mother saw everything. Suddenly, it attacked his car and let out a very loud roar. After 1 second, 2 chupacabra creatures attacked the car and began to destroy the car. With Mother Quinn, he got out of the car and took a chupacabra in one hand, and in the other hand, he was holding the riser to keep the chupacabra away from him, but they saw the back behind him and took it from him. The taser and freed Chupa. Then Alex said goodbye to Chupa again and saw him flying away with his mother. Days after Alex was rescued, his vacation came to an end. He had to return to America again, but before he left, his cousin Luna came and said goodbye to him, and played him tapes of Mexican songs, so he could learn their language, and then she hugged him. But as soon as they approached the car and opened the bag, Memo attacked Alex and did a wrestling move. But this time, Alex was able to defeat Memo, and he raised his hand in victory. Alex was unable to wait to tell his mother about his adventures. Alex's personality has changed now, and he has transformed from an introverted and weak person. He became a sociable and brave person, and he decided that he would not allow anyone to bully him again, because of his family's Mexican origins. Alex went with his grandfather to the airport, and there he said goodbye to his grandfather. He was sad about leaving Hacienda and his grandfather. He told him that he was leaving the city of Hacienda. Alex gave his grandfather his electronic toys before he got on the plane, and said he told him that he no longer needed her, and before he got on the plane, he said goodbye grandfather. For the last time, they said he missed him so much. On the plane, Alex held his father's wrestling mask, and at the end of the movie Alex was surprised when he looked out of the plane window, because Chupa was flying in front of him to say goodbye, and here we have reached the end of our movie. If you liked the movie, don't forget to like and subscribe to follow all the new movies.